Well, this is the last time we're going to be seeing this part of the barn as empty as it is now. We're going to be installing the workshop. Hi guys, I'm Shmee, hello and welcome back to the channel. You join me here at the Shmuseum where we have changed this barn on a farm from being full of cows to being full of cars. This is building my dream garage. What a transformation it has been, but this has been a big part to think about. And the other day we went up to Dura to take a look at what's going to be going here. And over the next couple of days, by the end of this video, we're gonna have this up and running. The workshop corner is going to be ready here at the Shmuseum. Everything is currently all over the place. We had to move all of the cleaning stuff, all of the products that we normally keep over in that area ahead of this. But of course, this is very different to how it was. Honestly, I know I reference it a lot. There was no floor here. It was just dirt, dust, and rubble. We certainly didn't have Benpack auto stacker car lifts. We did not have all of the cars, the racetrack that's been added on the floor, the grandstand behind me with the pit box, with the lounge. Everything about this is coming together in a way that I could only really imagine, but seeing it happen in front of my eyes is really and truly a dream. Now, when it comes to this area, of course, this is right inside the shutter. This is where you drive in. This is where we did have the EV charger on the wall. That's going to be going back a little bit later on. But this is a place to house tools, to keep all of the equipment, to effectively have a very usable space and make the most of the slightly awkward shapes that we actually have to play with. And this is where it's been a bit of a process to spec it out, to work on the designs, to create something with Dura that's going to make the absolute most of it. And now it's a case of the furniture arriving, being unloaded and being installed. I'm not going to bore you with all of the details. It took quite some time to move all of this, but of course the DeWalt tools are going to have their sections in the cabinets. The Topaz car care line is going to be over there as well, but we needed to pull it all away. It's not going to be staying permanently next to the Ford GT. That would be strange. But for the time being, we've done a very nice job of emptying out that entire space. I'm actually quite proud of what we managed to do there. Well, look what has now arrived. The team from Dura, Inspirational Garage Interiors, and we are going to be getting this unloaded. We won't be able to go all the way in because of the shutter height, but we will get everything out in a moment. Tell you what, nice trucks to bring all the gear that's inside. This is exciting. All the equipment, all the gear, ready to be unloaded. Oh, up we go. Thank you guys. Oh, I can't wait to get all of this out, unpackaged very shortly and start showing you the plans in full. The first pieces arrive, and this is where the colors start to make sense. You'll notice the back walls matching over there. The cabinets themselves are actually matching to the walls of the barn. You can see the theme that we've been going for here. More and more of the different parts unloaded, but before we start unwrapping them, we're going to do a bit of a swap around. One downside of not having the EV charger on the wall is that we need to charge the Mach-E GT, and we're just going to plug it into a 3-pin socket. So I'm going to move the Pura Sangue up there somewhere, and then we'll bring the Mach-E in, put it here somewhere. We're going to figure this out. We're just all wearing very thick coats because it's freezing here today. Very cold. And the last major piece of the puzzle arrives. This is quite exciting. There's obviously a lot to go, a lot of unpacking to be done, but fun to be able to see what's going to be going where. Now, when we visited Dura, we took a look through at what we have here. So I just walked past the things we've got. But for example, you can see this is clearly the gloves and paper towel dispenser. We've got the upper cabinets. They're all put together, assembled at the facility, so installing the back braces to basically mean that these can slot together and go in very quickly and efficiently. But I'm looking forward to this. Starting to feel like Christmas here. The unpacking, look at this, lovely. This matches the Oxford blue, Dura branding. Obviously we're going to have some shelves going in here for some of the things that we want to have with quick access, different cabinets, different pieces. This is our full floor height cabinet. This is the trolley, including the fold-out table that we've got there. Basically, get it all unwrapped first, get rid of all of the packaging, and then start placing everything in position. With the unpacking comes moving everything into position. Look at all of this. It's been a long time coming, working through the 3D customization, planning what's going to go where, figuring out all of the different options, the different units that are possible, the modular setup of it all, meaning that we could position things, place it all together, and start to have this coming to reality and get ready to get all of our stuff in position. This is actually really exciting. This is a really, really big part of the garage, getting all of this out and just being able to see it all. The drawers, these are going to be filled soon with tools, with everything that we would possibly need. Everything feels really good, very high quality. The way that it's made, the way that it's presented, the way that it's finished. In comes the Mackie GT, so we've got to work this out for the time being. Obviously doing a lot of miles with this and need to figure that out with the lack of charging. Although this is going to be a temporary problem because of course we do have 3-pin and it will just take a day or two and that's life. Meanwhile, there's a lot of figuring out what goes where. I'm coming straight through, check this out. The L shape that's being built up in the corner. Oh, this is going to be so nice. This is going to be so nice when it all fits in and it goes flush and then the pieces go in the middle there as well. Yeah. This is a really interesting part of the process. So there is a laser here, of course, to get a level across. But obviously, when you have a length of ground like this, the floor raises and lowers slightly, the highest point being about here, being much lower at either end. This tool over here will give us a solid beep when the height of the shelf is lifted, just like that, to position. I had been wondering about this, and that is, of course, because we're going to have a worktop that goes on here as well, all the way around. But quite interesting to know the precision and how accurate all of this is going to come together, or accurately it's going to come together shortly. Very simple, but very clever. Point down, line it up, make sure everything's ready for the surface boards to go, obviously on the top of that, which are no doubt around here. Amongst all of the other parts, we've also got some trunking. This is the trunking that we have from before. As we've done behind all of the car lifts over on that side, we're eventually going to add down here to bring power to this end as well, and also obviously into that room. So there's a fair bit more that needs to be done in terms of the electrics when we put the EV charger back, which is going to make sense a little bit later with this build, with this project. The progress over here is super exciting. I mean, look at this, starting to get a feel for what it's actually all going to be like. There's still another upper unit that's going to be installed before it's all pushed effectively into place, lifted up and slid back to the corner. The units on this side are all obviously being shuffled into the right places as well. I cannot wait for this. But in the meantime, come over this way, because what we've been doing is packing the van. And this is where, if we didn't have the MSRT bright pink van, this would be a problem. And obviously, Shmoo the cow is not going to be posted out, the big one I should say, all the little ones are, and we're going to pack it up fully. That's just UK orders. There's a lot. This is going to be very, very full. We've still got to put a whole load of other things into it, but good progress right now before we go and turn up at a post office and say, hey, here's however many parcels this is. Yeah, that's going to be interesting, but everything's pre-stamped, pre-purchased, all done, so hopefully it's going to be easy. Hopefully. Everything now moving into place, pushing back towards the wall. Check it's all going to sit in the correct location. There's a little bit of a cavity behind, but this positions very, very well. Oh, this is perfect, isn't it? What a result. That's just the start before all of this gets put into place. So just measuring to make sure the cavity aligns behind. Nice, very nice. The bridging unit here now in place. That very simply connects in, and that will of course house the drawers beneath. This is genuinely crazy. We've filled this with everything, all the boxes. We haven't put all the envelopes and things in. We've still got a pile of those that need to go in, but those are the air fresheners and sticker sheets, things that you can still find in the Shmoo 50 eBay shop. In here though, without missing a single one, this is everything, every single box. Look at that. How perfectly did all of that fit? Like 5 more and we wouldn't get them in, 5 less and there would be gaps. That is everything, filling all the space. We've had to leave gaps for the arms, obviously the way they go in. But yeah, that's gonna be a fun run out to go drop them off and send all of those to you guys around the world. And I'd like to say thank you very much for that, because this has been absolutely mind-blowing. Truly love how much you guys love Shmoo the cow. So yeah, time to go dispatch them all and get them to your hands. We just had a bit of an off-camera shuffle around. Mackie GT charging over there, Purasangwe parked here for the moment, van just there, but we're gonna take it out because it's time to go drop off all of the stuff to be posted before coming back tomorrow for the continuation with this. Nicely maneuvered. Gotta say, that thing has a very convenient turning radius. All right, let's lock up and get on the road. Guys, the traffic is doing its best possible to get in the way of us getting Shmoo to you. But in theory, behind us, is a van load of boxes, which is quite exciting. Let's hope this doesn't take long, and let's hope the sorting office isn't going to have a complete shock. This is chaos, but making some progress, unloading everything. You would not believe what an exercise this is. I feel like, I mean, they're not heavy, obviously, but this is a lot of parcels just to be stacking into these. 6, 9, whatever I can grab at a time. I say this, if I take these, I'm going to fail, so let's do it in smaller batches. Yep, there we go. Woo. And I will point out also, it's about freezing here at the moment, which is kind of chilly, but we had to separate international and UK. Luckily we had done that at base. This is going to go wrong. Should I try it anyway? I apologise for the flying schmoos. No, we're okay. We're okay. Oh, it's hard work. It's fun though. It's very fun. And this is the last stash. That is it. All of Shmoo the Cow's brothers are ready to head across the world. I never thought I would be so tired from lifting such light boxes. Yep, don't do that. That has to be released first. I forgot how to do it. There we go. Ooh. Okay, this one wasn't done. That's what threw me there. It's plastic, it's okay. It's now the next morning. We got back exhausted, late night, but check this out, the view from up here on the mezzanine outside the offices, looking down at this. As you can see, the guys are currently preparing the surfaces for the top board that's going to be going in, the work surface that's going to be going in, and there's still plenty more to get into place, hooked up, lined up, before we can actually dive into all of this and go through every single part and what it's all about. Oh, it's a great view from up here, but it is cold here in England at the moment, really cold, and even though the building is insulated, it's always going to be cold inside. In the offices, we've got the heaters, it's lovely, but yeah, this is interesting. The Puro Sangue also looks amazing from up here, if I can say. I think that looks really, really cool. Yeah, a couple of cars that need a drive, though. Some that have been sitting for too long, so need to work on that a little bit. The thing I'm relieved about is that Zemvo, not only did they make amazing cars, but they make really nice warm jackets as well. Exciting moment with the partitions being put into place. Of course, continuing the colour. It is very, very blue, but hey, I like blue. This is a good thing. Obviously get those positioned, and then the final parts of the modular setup go in down at this end, but I think that basically completes the look. If I try and step back from this, as opposed to having the break with the back wall of the barn, that's really nice. It's all about the details, and you spot another little change down here with the skirting that has been added around the fixed parts, of course not around where the wheels are, and that will be done across here on this partition wall as well, which again is going to have further things put to that down the line, but coming together well. Of course, finishing off up at the top as well. Everything neat and tidy. As if by magic, that's now in place. We've got some more skirting to go around the taller units, which are being measured and positioned. We also have some lighting. The upper unit lighting, which will obviously be linked up. We'll have some power switches here as well, some further sockets to be added in addition to that, but all shaping up to be the perfect setup. Before it's going to be fully wired, we've got some faceplates just going in for the moment, obviously going with the brushed look to match with the other details that you see around it all, but we now have these in place over towards this side. As you can see, it lines up quite neatly with the shape of the building that we had to work around, and I'll probably bring the traffic light back to have over here, but this is this is really starting to look the part. This is of course our low. We might adjust the shelves, you can do that pretty easily, but to have our washing stuff, the heavier things that you want to pull out, make life very easy. Tell you what, it's quite nice just opening and closing all of these doors, and then we'll have a few shelves there for things that will be visible. Different cleaning products, just easy to grab stuff will be on those, and then basically working it all out as we make our way around. But the lighting is looking really, really nice. When you combine that with all of the gas pump lights, the other lights that are around, we're going to have a pretty nice night, like mood lighting setup going on in here. Just still need in a moment to pop the work surface down, and then it will be pretty much starting to wrap up. The worktops have arrived. We have the Trespa worktop in satin black. to give a bit of a contrast. Obviously black, always best for these things. So those are going to be installed up on here in just a moment and fit in to infill these gaps at the back and create a flush look. All slots together, nice and easy, just like that. Oh, that's nice. I've said that a lot this video, I'm sorry, but oh gosh, perfect. I am pleased to say this is all now installed. This is complete, but to tell us a little bit more about it, we're joined by Tim from Dura.
How are you?
I'm very happy right now. This looks amazing. And what's interesting is you've actually personally been with all of this since it was just metal, long before it was completed.
Yeah. I mean, it started off as, just sheet metal. We start with Zintek sheet metal, so it's not cold rolled mild, so it's, it's got protection built into it from the start. Then it goes through, the CAD system, it gets cut out, and then it's all bent using a Salvagnini machine, which is, if you've never seen one of those operating, you could watch that all day. It's almost like watching the machine dance, the way it works. It's so beautiful to watch. Then every single piece goes through anti-corrosive wash. It's then dried, then it's powder coated to your colour, goes through another oven where, it's all baked on, and then it's built by hand by our team down in our factory in Plymouth.
And the result, fast forward, is glorious because there are so many details. I know, because we've been talking a lot about it and we've had a full look around, that you don't necessarily immediately see when it comes to this, like the manufacturing, the finishing.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. I mean, you look at it and it's a complete disservice to say they are metal boxes, because there's hundreds and hundreds of little details in there, like the envelope folds on the corners there, so you don't have metal over metal. The fact that we use German locks, which have got 2 points of contact, so you've got high security, you've got double skin doors, so your doors, they don't flex. The fact that we use 2 German built struts, so they don't degas over time. It's just hundreds and hundreds of little details in there that every day you just become numb to them. You're not necessarily going to see them, but they will make a difference every single day.
So one of the interesting things is my setup here is somewhere between a residential garage and a commercial garage. It's not commercial because this is our private setup, but it's also obviously not like a normal garage, just a 1 or 2 garage bay at home. I've seen these units in some very cool places.
Yes.
Like walking around Gordon Murray Automotive, walking around Aston Martin and different showroom workshops at different dealerships. It's amazing to see how far they go, where they are.
Yeah, absolutely. And it is the ultimate home garage, isn't it?
And the absolute ultimate. But also, like, so for example, we have individual locks, obviously, on every unit. And I was thinking about this because here, no one's coming in. It's private, so I don't need to worry about that. But if you were in, let's say, a more commercial place, your different employee could have their own cabinets.
Absolutely.
And their own setup.
You can have key to cabinet, key to suite. You can put different locks on them so that each individual technician can have their own work bay.
It all kind of makes sense. This is, I can't wait to get up and running, because I know what people are thinking. We're hardly about to pull an engine out of a car here, right? I mean, we could hire somebody to come in and do it. We could. But the big thing for me with all of this is that we have a lot of tools, whether it's tire inflator, whether it's impact drivers, whether it's to build furniture, whatever it might be, the stuff that you have around. And this is the most beautiful way to put it all away, to store it tidily. We're going to have to come up with some proper setup in here, though, for all of the hand tools when we eventually
we've got to get
up.
you some tool control foam, haven't we? When you open this, and if that was all in tool control foam with all of your tools, how cool would that be? It's just more ideas, isn't it?
I think that, I'm trying to work out in my head what goes where. We'll maybe fill up the impact guns will go in here, so they're easily accessible. Maybe we'll put in the charging for batteries and things hidden away in the unit up above, something like that. But this was obviously a discussion I had with Steve and with Dominic prior to us meeting, of course, where we were talking about the plans and the ideas and how to install all of this, where to put it all. It's funny because this is really nice. It's really nice.
So lovely, isn't it?
I might just shuffle around some shelves and move the heights of things a little bit.
Yes, you can absolutely do that. It's a doddle to do. Yeah, they all just sit.
Oh, you just adjust the bracket,
Just literally pull the bracket out, adjust yourself, put it back in, and yeah, they can take some serious weight there.
Yeah.
Take some serious. Your liquid moly and your topaz, easy.
Done. Okay.
Easy.
It sounds like we're filling that up with all of the different products and things we've got. What a finish look. What a finish look. I think we just need to pull a car in and pull some stuff in. We need to start filling up everything.
I think so. I think that'd be a good idea. But Tim, I mean, behind the camera right now, I mean, I'm sat here looking and thinking this is absolutely beautiful, but there's some beautiful machinery in here, Tim. What?
Oh, thank you. No, this is, yeah, I'm very, very, very happy right now. This is, as you said before, actually, this is one of the last pieces of the puzzle, of the whole puzzle that is the garage. The last major things to get installed and to get running. And yeah, it looks really very cool. It's time now to work out some of this stuff. This is, of course, the C-Tech EV charger. This is going to go back on the wall kind of there, which will actually look a lot neater than where it was on the wall before. I'm going to carefully put this down on here. I probably don't need to be careful with the work surfaces, but I am a bit worried. I want to keep them looking neat and tidy. We're going to put things like tire pressure inflators and gauges and stuff down here, but basically work out what's going to go where, because ultimately the whole point of this is that everything is super quickly and easily accessible, right? So all of the tools we've got, I mean, there's so much cool stuff here from DeWalt that we're going to be emptying out. And obviously these all stack together very cleverly, which is also nice. All the lights, those are things that you want. Quite often, we try and grab a light for something. Obviously, the batteries are all separate because they're interchangeable between every different device. I just need to work out where it's all going to go and what the best way to do all of this is going to be. And then kind of just start putting everything through. Endless choices. There's always too much cupboard space. And then if I start doing, because as you can imagine with all of the cars, I have spare things like windscreen mounts and USB cables and stuff that goes in the cars. I don't know if I keep that in the storage room where it is now, or if maybe I start filling up these cabinets. The other thing is that obviously in this scenario, I don't need to worry so much about the keys. So I can, which way's open? That's open, I hope. Yeah, I don't think we're going to need to keep all of the keys out, and I can basically just make a stockpile of these. Well, unlock them all first, and then make a stockpile of all of the keys, because we won't be, hopefully, needing those for anything. Just work it all out one at a time. Go put those all somewhere safe. Hopefully, I'm not going to lose them. A mysterious magical cable tie has arrived. Is that what we're going to use for all the keys? I tell you what though, the cabinets also all have, I think, spare keys in them right now. So we're going to have a lot of spare keys. I should probably do this systematically so that I get every single one and don't make a mistake and get very confused. Hey, I like how neat and tidy they've been with all of this. You can tell when they've done it before. Wait, unlock, open, key out, spare key. Bear with me. Before we get too much into that, I want to show you what I have got here, because there is one Shmeemobile missing currently. Actually, there's more than one currently, but there's one that's impossible to have here currently because it's in the United States of America, which is, of course, my Ford Mustang Dark Horse, and given upstairs the collection of 1 to 18 scale models, it will come as no surprise that as soon as this was available, I have added one. So carefully does it. I gotta work out how to get this out with the tape around it. Okay, I might need some scissors. I've been snookered. Managed. Unwrap the tape. Now, obviously this is straight off the shelf, so the color is going to be completely wrong, but regardless, ta-da! I love that it's even got the livery, just like mine on the hood, on the bonnet, I should say, given we're now back in the UK. That's in carbonized gray. Of course, mine is Oxford white, but that will sit very nicely on the shelf. That is a lovely addition. All the Shmeemobiles in 1 to 18 scale, and people always ask me, by the way, how to get these. Truthfully, there's no one brand or one shop. You need to just search and hope. Google away, search eBay, search different shops, and just type in the name of the car and 1:18, 1/18, and hope you can find one. They normally come out a few years after the models, so the fact that this is already available, given the Dark Horse was only released about a year ago is actually really quick, but there's no rule of thumb for it. It's a very difficult thing to do. I just love collecting them and get every one that I possibly can of my cars. For now though, safely back in the box because I want to go and show you the update on our progress. Nothing's really changed then, but that's the beauty of it, right? Having loads of space means that everything is hidden away. We kept out 2 of the DeWalt McLaren collaboration tools just because they look kind of cool, but basically popped some things away, and it's going to be an evolution process. Things are going to move, they're going to change, they're going to end up in different places down the line. So up top, as planned, we've got all the batteries, lots of DeWalt batteries, lots of different sizes. We will wire in all of the chargers as well. I think that will be super convenient, but just like this, you can just press on the button and see how much charge something has. Good to go. We'll get all of those charged up and looked after properly. Again, this end, given its nearest main hall, is the stuff that comes out fairly regularly. So the impact drivers, the ratchets, those kinds of things. And even though we're not doing heavy mechanical work, you'll be amazed how many times a tool comes out. It's probably every other day for something, whether that's assembling something, the splitters on and off the GT8, who even knows? Something happens, something's needed, putting furniture together, just lots of different things. Down below, more car stuff, I guess, tire inflator, we've got some heat guns, laser measure. Things are gonna move. As time goes by, I guarantee things are gonna move. This cabinet in the corner is where we've got all of the lights at the moment. We're on a farm, it gets pretty dark, especially in winter, so lights come out for outside or in some of the storage rooms or things that we're trying to work out, things where we haven't necessarily popped lighting in yet. I've ordered some gloves and blue towel to go in there. These cabinets up top are all empty at the moment, but having so much space means that we're gonna have no shortage of options to put things in different places. Down here, this first tall one, at the moment just the machine polisher, compressor and blower, but again, more space, you can move the shelves around and we'll figure that out as we go. Here we've got the range of Topaz car care products, which you can find in the Topaz shop, available in various different sizes. Obviously, good friends with the guys at Topaz. Nabil was here just the other day, so lots of different products, including the stuff in here, which is more our car cleaning operations cabinet. We've got a range of different products, the trolley to pull out, the pressure washer and buckets, because we can pop them out, take them around the corner just outside, do the washing in our wash bay area, right outside around the corner, because that is where the drainage is and everything like that. And no, I couldn't bring a wash bay inside. It would have been way too costly and complicated to work out. So this is all coming along nicely. Charger will go here, wheel will go here, or maybe the other way around. One thing I need to test with that is putting an EV back here, because everything changes when you've got a slightly different layout. The thing with EVs, like if you look over here at the moment where the Mach-E GT is plugged in, it has the charging port on the front left side. Every car has it in a different place. Some are at the front, some are at the back, some are on the left side, some are on the right side. So you need to try and work out a place to have it that's convenient for everything. What I would like to do though, just because, as this looks so nice, is basically park a car here so that we can get a feel for how that actually looks with a car in this corner. So I'm going to pick one, and given we've got a lot of blue, something that contrasts with blue, I think the GT Black series would look pretty cool here. Maybe we should try that. Maybe the Ford GT. Let's go and see. We'll pick one. Well, GT Black series it is. Startup time. Cold start, very cold. We're gonna figure this out and just move it over. I mean, we could have taken any car, but the color of this in Solar Beam is always a bit of a winner to test these things. So that going over there. Sounds pretty good in here, doesn't it? I feel sorry for Brad. I should probably give him a little bit of help to park this up, because we're going to need to move it like over here and just see where it ends up. Well, I gotta say, that looks pretty good, especially with the yellow against the blue. That's basically Daily Bay 1. I had this idea of we have like Daily Bay 1 and then Daily Bay 2 is here, obviously staggered because of the way the curbs go. The Pura Sangue wouldn't normally be like that. I just put it there because of all of the stuff we had moved behind that was over here before. This was a complete mess before, so the fact that it's now looking so clean, tidy and organized is a big step forwards. And we also had been discussing with Cure Coatings, who were responsible for doing this floor, to mark out some things in this area, but I didn't want to do it until this was installed. So now it gives me an opportunity to live with this for a period, to pop cars in different positions, get a feel for exactly what it looks like, and then decide what we want to do with the floor, maybe making this area a little bit darker. As you can see, we did have a little bit of a whoops over there, which is why there's a bit of a stain, although generally any marks just clean up, which is amazing. And you know, it looks pretty good, I think. There is one thing that we need a plan for, the tyre rack at the back of the room. We did know about this, by the way, when I bought that. It was a good deal, but it's too tall to go into the storage room, and perhaps we could have put bigger doors in, but that would also look a little bit strange. And it had been living where that setup now is, and obviously it's not the most sightly thing in the world, so ideally it would be popped away somewhere, so I need to come up with a plan for that. I need to figure that one out, whether we chop it down, whether we just get rid of that and put the tyres in a different way. Ideas. Obviously, there's a lot to this, and in fact, I'm going to grab my phone because I want to do something very quickly, something I quite like in here, especially now that we've got a little bit more lighting. I could shout at one of my various devices, as you probably know from the past, but if I do, it will also set off some of your guys' devices, which we don't want because that's also a little bit annoying. So I'm going to go into the app here and do it this way instead. Come on. Why is it not connecting? It would be the case that my phone, there we go. It's back, we're back. So check this out. If I do that, wait for it. There we go. The lighting is cool. This is just plain cool, especially over here. The way it lights up that blue stripe. I'm hoping it's not completely pitch dark in here now on the camera. Obviously the offices are all pretty bright. I'm sure it's now completely blown out the camera. But with a little bit more lighting, this will actually be quite a cool setting. Whether that's lighting over this way, underneath the lifts, we could play around with that perhaps. But I think with the gas pumps, and we had to move a couple of them, it makes for a very, very nice effect. Again, it's all part of the dream garage, right? This is building my dream garage. This is a complete dream. I can't get my head around it. And now that's like the last major step. It's the last major cornerstone of areas. You know, we've got the office space, we've got the lounge space, we've got the car lifts, we've got the arcade and game stuff, we've got the storage stuff. Now we also have the workshop display setup. And I feel even if you're not going full on for the heavy mechanical work, it's still amazing to have a space like this, looking the part, housing everything, keeping the garage neat and tidy, keeping everything in check, which is such a big part of all of this. And we're going to spend hours probably filling all of this, making sure that every cabinet, shelf, cupboard is full of all of the parts that it needs to be full of. But wow, yeah, what an amazing, amazing, amazing setup. Really, really happy with this. A huge thanks to Tim, Steve, Dominic, everyone at the Dura team, the installers, the guys who are responsible for actually manufacturing all of this, learning about it all. Obviously, they do all of these setups, like we mentioned earlier, that you've seen, or I've seen for sure, in different garages, dealerships, manufacturers all around the world, and also home residential garages, different setups, different options, well worth looking into. Obviously, the very top quality, top end, the best you can get right here. This is amazing. This is absolutely amazing. So I hope you guys love it as much as we do. I know Brad and I are going to spend a lot of time loading all of the cabinets and probably popping over here every 5 seconds for different things as we go forwards from now. But thank you very much for watching as always, guys. That's it for this time, and I'll see you again very soon. Cheers.